Right. Review exercises. So I'll put R here. Name the three sides and the three angles of the triangle shown in the figure. Right. So what are the three sides? We have KL. So this is one side. Then we have LM. Right. Then we have KM. So those are the three sides. What are the three angles? We have angle K, angle M, angle L. Right. Also, we can name it as what? Angle K, L, K, M. Right? Angle K can be what? L, K, M, or the other way around. M, K, L. Or M, K, L. So you can see here we are talking about the angle K. Right. Then when we talk about angle M, what is that? Angle M. KML, KML or LMK, LMK. Then angle L, what is that? KLM, KLM or the other way around, MLK, MLK. Question number 2 under the part 1. Draw an obtuse triangle and name it ABC. Right. So I will name it like A, B, C. Measure ABC, BAC and ACB. So A, we have to measure all three angles. No? Right. So first of all, we will measure angle A. Right. First of all, we will take the angle ABC. Angle ABC. Right. ABC. So it is this center, right? So on my protractor, there is only one scale, right? So I will start the measurement, right, from here on this side. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So here it is like 63. That means what? From this side, 180 minus 63. That means what? 179 minus 62. 9 minus 2, that's a 7. 7 minus 6, that's a 1. Again, a 1. Right? So, ABC angle, that is what? 117 degrees. Right. Then we have to measure BAC. BAC. Right. Right. So, now you need to remember how we measure angles, right? So the origin must overlap or coincide angle A or the vertex, right? So just as I have mentioned you before, my scale, right? I have the outer scale only. The inner scale is not available on my protractor, right? So here we have 10, 20 and 30, right? So angle BAC, right, that is 30 degrees. Then we have to measure angle what? ACB. ACB, right? We can clearly take this. So it is like 33 degrees. So your answers may be different than mine, right? Obviously, so the triangles will be different, no? So the measurements of the angles depends on the triangle, but always remember, you have, in this question, you have to draw what? An obtuse angle. Right. Question number 3 under review questions and under that part 1. Draw a triangle PQR as in the figure and produce QR to S. That means what? Extend QR to S. Produce QR to S means we have to extend QR to S. Okay, so that is part 1. So now we will move to part 2. Measure PRQ and PRS. Write down their magnitudes. Right, so PRQ, you have to measure the angle, right? So this is like 54 degrees. So 54, 55, so I will take it as 55 degrees. Then PRS, that is PRQ, then we have to take PRS, right? PRS, so what is that? So from here, since I have only the outer scale, What is this angle? It is like, so that is 55, no? So from this side, what is the angle? 10, 20, 30, all the way up to here, 90, 100, 110, 120, and 100 and another 120, 128 something, no? So when we draw, right, and especially when we measure it from the whiteboard, right, the answers will be somewhat off. Theoretically, if we add these numbers together, this QRS, it is a straight line, no? So when we add these numbers together, it should sum up to what? 180. So here what do we have? 120 plus 50, that is 170. To that we have to add a 13. So this becomes 183. So this is somewhat, this is actually close to the answer. So the answer should be 180, but when we draw and take the measurements, especially on the whiteboard, right, the answers will be somewhat a little bit off. Right? Right. Question number 4 under review questions. Under that part 1, draw a quadrilateral ABCD and produce AB to E. Right? So A, B, C, D. Then I'm going to produce. That means extend AB to E. Right. So that is part 1. Now part 2. Measure EBC. EBC angle and ABC angle. ABC angle, right? EBC. Okay, so first we have to take or measure the angle EBC. That means this angle, right? Minimum angle. Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, right? Okay. So EBC, that is 118 degrees. Right, now ABC. ABC, that means this angle. So now we have to measure angle ABC. ABC, that means this angle. So it is something like 71 degrees. Right, so that's the end of review exercises. Right, exercise 12.1. Question number 1. Find the magnitude of the angle marked as X in each of the figures given below. Okay, this is X, right? So these two angles we know the magnitudes. So we know in a triangle the sum of internal angles are what? 180. So we can write X plus 85 plus 55, that is equal to 180 degrees. So within brackets you have to write sum of internal angles of a triangle, right? Okay, so X plus 85 plus 55. 80 plus 50, that is 130. To that we add a 10. So this becomes what? 140 equals to 180. Then X is equal to what? 180 minus 140. That means 40 degrees. So X is 40 degrees. So we will go to the next part. So here this angle is 53. What is this angle? 90 degrees. The magnitude is 90 degrees. So by now you should be able to identify this symbol, 90 degrees. So this is a right angle triangle, right? So X plus 53 plus 90, that is equal to 180. So what is the reason? Within brackets, the sum of internal angles of a triangle. So 50 plus 90, that is 140. To that we add a 3. So this becomes what? 143. So this is equal to 180. So X is equal to what? 180 minus 143. That means what? 179 minus 142. 9 minus 2, that's a 7. 7 minus 3, 7 minus 4, that's a 3. So here the value is 37. So X is equal to what? 37 degrees. So here when I subtracted 180 from 143, first of all I subtracted 1 from 180. So this becomes what? 179. Then from 143 also I subtracted 1. That is why this is 142. එතකොට මේක අඩු කරන්න ලේසිනේ. Right, part 3. So here in this triangle we have two angles. We don't know the value or the magnitude. But the thing is, here the value has been taken as what? X and X. That means what? The magnitude of each of these angles are similar. Not similar, equal. ඒකනේ x විදිහට ගත්තේ. So just as before, x plus x and 130, that is equal to 180. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. X plus x, that is 2x, plus 130, this is equal to 180. 2x is equal to what? 180 minus 130. 2x, that is what? 2x is equal to 180 minus 130. What is that? 50. So we have to divide this side by 2, do the same thing to the other side. So we get what? 55. So the magnitude of x is what? 25. Right, so part 4. So here, none of the internal angles of the triangle has been given to us, the magnitudes. But take a look at the symbol. It is x. Each of these internal angles, they named them x. So that is not by mistake, right? What does that mean? Each of these angles, if you think about the magnitudes, they are same. So we can take x plus x, that is equal to what? 180. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So these are like terms. So we can take this as what? 3x. X plus x, that is 3x. Not x to the power 3. Huh? Right. So this is equal to what? 180. So we have to divide this side by 3. Do the same thing to the other side. 3 times 1, 3 times 60. So x will be what? 60 degrees. X is 60 degrees. Right. Question number 2. Right. So this is part 1. So we have to calculate the magnitude of each of the angles. So here we don't know the magnitude of angle A or angle B. Right. So 2x plus 3x plus 60, that is equal to 180. What is the reason? You always have to write it within brackets, sum of internal angles of a triangle. So these two are what? Like terms. 2x plus 3x, that is what? 5x. Just like 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. Right. So 5x plus 60, that is equal to 180. So we subtract 60, do the same thing to the other side. So we can cancel out these two. 5x, that is equal to what? 120. Now we have to divide this side by 5, do the same thing to the other side. So 5 times 1, 5 times 1, 5 times 1, 5 times 2, and 4. So x is equal to 24, but this is not the answer. So what is angle A? Magnitude 2x. That means what? 2 into 24, which is 48 degrees. So angle A, the magnitude is 48 degrees. Then angle B, that is 3x. 3 into 24, what is that? 3 into 20, we know that is 60. 3 into 12, we know that is 12. Sorry, 3 into 4, that is 12. So when we add these together, we get 72. 72 degrees. So these are the answers. Angle A is 48 degrees. Angle B is 72 degrees. So there also, we have to find the magnitude of angle Q and R. Okay. So let's take the triangle PQR. We will take the triangle PQR. So 30 plus 5x plus x, that is equal to what? 180. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So 30 plus 6x, that is equal to 180. So we will subtract 30 from here, do the same thing to the other side. So we can cancel off these two. 6x, that is equal to what? 150. 180 minus 30, that is 150. So we will divide this side by 6. Do the same thing to the other side. 6 times 1, 6 times 1. 6 times 1, 6 times. For 15 we can go up to 2. Then for 30, 5. 25. So x is equal to what? 25. That means what? Angle R, right? That is x. The magnitude is x, no? So the value is 25. Angle Q, we have 5x. That means what? 5 into 25. So what is that? 125. So these are the answers. Right. So for KML triangle, we will just take the values. So 3A, 2A, A. That is equal to 180 degrees. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So all of these are what? Like terms. So 3A plus 2A, that is 5A. Add A, so that becomes 6A. 6A is equal to 180. So we will divide this side by 6. Do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so 6 times 1, 6 times 30. So A, that is equal to 30 degrees. That means what? If we take angle L, right, that is A, that means 30 degrees, right? Then if we take angle K, that is 2A, that means what? 2 into 30, which is 60. Then if we take L, K and M, angle M, right, that is 3A, that means 3 into 30, so we get 90 degrees. So those are the answers. Right, question number 3. Find the magnitude of each of the angles denoted by an English letter in each figure. So this is part 1, right? So we have to find X and Y. Okay. Now here, BAC angle. BAC angle, that is X. So what do we do? For ABC triangle, X plus 70 plus 38, that is equal to what? 180. What is the reason? You always have to write down the reason. Sum of internal angles of a triangle. Right. So here we get what? X plus 108. So that is equal to 180. So X is equal to what? 180 minus 108. That means 72. So X is 72. Right? So BAD, that's a straight line. We know if we take one side of a straight line and add all the adjacent angles, it will sum up to what? 180. So we can write X plus Y, that is equal to 180. What's the reason? BAD is a straight line. So what will be Y? X is what? 72. 72 plus Y, that is equal to 180. So I will erase this and do the simplification. So what will be Y? Y will be equal to 180 minus 72. 108. So in this question, X is equal to 72. Y is equal to 108. So those are the answers. Right. So in this diagram, so this is part 2, question number 3, part 2. So in this diagram, we need to calculate the values of simple A and simple B. Right. So straight off the bat, we know simple B is what? 40 degrees. Why? You have to write the reason. Why? Reason is, you have to write it, vertically opposite angles. Okay. So now we just have to calculate A. So for XYZ triangle, A plus B plus 80, that is equal to what? 180. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So A plus B is 40 plus 80, that is equal to 180. So A plus 120, that is equal to 180. Minus 120, do the same thing to the other side. So now A is equal to what? 60 degrees. 60 degrees. So in this question, A is 60 degrees, B is 40 degrees. Those are the answers. Right. So this is part 3. So here we need to calculate simple y and x. So by the diagram we can see that these two angles are equal in magnitude. Right. So what do? X plus 140, that is equal to what? 180. What's the reason? QRS. So you have to write it. What's the reason? QRS is a straight line. Right? So QRS is a straight line. So x will be what? X plus 140 minus 140, that is equal to 180 minus 140. So we can cancel out these two. So x is equal to what? 40 degrees. Right. So think about the PQR triangle. Sum of internal angles. Y plus x. So we know the value of x. Y plus x. That is equal to what? 180. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. Right? So x we know that is what? 40 degrees. These two we can simplify. 2y plus 40, that is equal to 180. So 2y, that is equal to what? 180 minus 40. That means what? 2y is equal to 140. 2y will be equal to 140. Right. So I'll continue the simplification here. So 2y, that is equal to 140. That means y is what? 140 we have to divide by 2. 2 times 1, 2 times 70. So y is what? 70 degrees. Y is 70 degrees. So in this question, angle x, that is 40 degrees, angle y, that is 70 degrees. Right, so part 4. So we need to calculate simple x and simple y. Right. So we will take KLM triangle. KLM triangle. So x plus 35 plus, what is this? 90 degrees. That is equal to what? 180. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So x plus 125, that is equal to 180. So x is equal to what? 180 minus 125. So 180 minus 120, that is 60. From that we can subtract 5. So we get what? 55 degrees. So x is 55 degrees. Now take KLN triangle. So there we have x. So we have calculated it. So that is 55 plus y. We need to find it. Then we have 90 degrees. This entire angle is what? That means LKN or NKL. 90 degrees, right? So this is equal to 180. So we can simplify this. Y plus 145, that is equal to 180. So we can subtract 145 from here. So do the same thing to the other side. Okay. So y will be equal to what? 35 degrees. So here x is equal to 55 degrees and y is equal to 35 degrees. So those are the answers. Right. So still we are in exercise 12.1, question number 3, part 5. So this is A, B, and I hope you can see these magnitudes, and also you can refer your textbook, right? This is 70 degrees, 30 degrees, 20 degrees. Okay, so we have to find the angles A and B. Okay, so we will take the triangle ABK. ABK triangle. So we can write A plus 70 plus 30, that is equal to 180. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So A plus 100, that is equal to 180. So we can subtract 100 from here on the left side. Do the same thing to the other side. So we can cancel off the 100. A is equal to what? 80 degrees. Right. Now take ADE triangle. ADE triangle. ADE. So A, we know what is that? 80 degrees. Here we have 20 degrees and B, that is equal to 180. So B plus 100, that is equal to 180. So here B is what? B is equal to 180 minus 100, which is 80 degrees. Right, so here angle A is 80 degrees and angle B is 80 degrees. Exercise 12.2. Find the value of x in each of the figures given below. So this is part 1, right? So here we have a quadrilateral, right? So we know the sum of internal angles of a quadrilateral is what? 360 degrees, right? So we can write x plus 55 plus 95 plus 60, that is equal to 360. So you have to write down the reason also, right? Sum of internal angles of a quadrilateral. So we will add these together. 50 plus 90, that is 140. If we add 60 to that, that becomes 200. So we have 200. To that we have to add another 10. So this becomes what? 210. So x plus 210, that is equal to what? 360. So x is equal to what? 360 minus 210, right? So x is equal to what? Take 300 and subtract 200 from it. So we get what? 160. Then subtract another 10 from that, we get what? 150. So x is 150. Right, part 2 of question number 1, exercise 12.2. So here also we have a quadrilateral. We only know the magnitude of this angle, right? So we can write x plus 2x plus 2x plus 80, that is equal to what? 360. So the same reason is there. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a quadrilateral, it is equal to what? 360. Always you have to write down the reason, right? So these three terms are what? These are like terms. So this will be what? 5x. 5x plus 80, that is equal to what? 360. So 5x will be equal to what? 360 minus 80, which will be what? 280. So 5x, that is equal to what? 280. So we have to divide this side by 5. Do the same thing to the other side. Now I can cancel off 5 from this side. So 5 times 1, 5 times 5 for 25 and 6 for 30. So here x is equal to what? 56 degrees. So the value of x, that is 56 degrees, right? So x is 56 degrees, and also we need to calculate the value of 2x, no? Right. So we need to calculate the value of 2x. That is what? 2 into 56. So 2x is equal to what? 112 degrees. So 2x is equal to 112 degrees. Question number 1, part 3. So here also we have a quadrilateral, right? 4 internal angles are here, right? We don't know the magnitudes, right? 2x, 2x, 3x and 3x. So we can rewrite this as what? 2x plus 2x plus 3x plus 3x, that is equal to what? 360. So always you have to write down your reason, right? What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a quadrilateral. So these 4 terms are what? Like terms. So we can simply add them together. So 2 plus 2, that is 4. So here we get 4x. 3 plus 3, that is 6. So 3x plus 3x, that means what? 6x. 4x plus 6x, that is what? 10x. So 10x, that is equal to what? 360. So we have to divide this side by 10. Do the same thing to the other side. So here x is equal to what? 36 degrees. But this is not the answer. This is the value of x. So we need to come up with the value of 2x and 3x. So 2x means what? 2 into 36. That means 72. 3x means what? 3 into 36. 118, no? 180. Right, so here 2x, that is what? 72 degrees. 3x, that is what? 180 degrees. Those are the answers. Right, part 4. So here also we have a quadrilateral, right? We know this angle, which is 60 degrees. So we have to calculate these 4 angles. So we can write 5x plus 5x plus 2x plus 60, that is equal to 360. Then we have to simplify this. So this becomes what? 12x plus 60, that is equal to 360. So 12x, that is what? 360 minus 60. So 12x, that is 300. So we have to calculate the value of x. So we have to divide this side by 12. Do the same thing to the other side. Right. So if we take 300 and divide it by 12, so I can go 100. If I divide it by 3, then 4. So 4 times 1 and 4 times 25. So here x is equal to what? 25. X is equal to 25. Now 25, that is not the answer. We need to calculate 2x and 5x. Right, so I will do it here. 2x is what then? 2 into 25. So that is 50. Right, 50 degrees. So 5x, what is that? 5 into 25. So that is 125 degrees. Right? So here 2x, that is what? 50 degrees. 50 degrees. 5x, that is what? 125 degrees. So those are the answers. Question number 2. Find the values of x and y in each figure given below. Right. Right. So this is the diagram that we have. So we have to come up with the values for x and y. So if we think about y and this triangle, y, it is an external angle to this triangle. So these two angles are what? These two angles are interior opposite angles of y. So y, that is equal to what? 105 plus 25. So this is 130. So y is equal to 130 degrees. Right. So we calculated the value of y, which is 130 degrees. So still we need to calculate the value of x. Right. If we forget about this triangle, what is the remaining figure? It is a quadrilateral. So we know the value of this angle, which is 75 degrees, and we know the value of this angle, which is 130 degrees. So we have a quadrilateral and we know the magnitudes of two internal angles of that quadrilateral. So definitely we need to find the value of this angle in order to calculate x. So what is the value of this angle? 75, no? Why? This is a straight line, right? So the value of this angle is 75. Right. Now for the quadrilateral we will write x plus y is what? 130 plus 75 plus 75. So that is 360. If we add these two, we get what? 150. 150 plus 130, that is what? 280. So x plus 280, that is equal to what? 360. So x is equal to what? 360 minus 280. So the value of x will be what? 80 degrees. 80 degrees. Right, so this is the second diagram. So just as before, we have to calculate the values of x and y. So right off the bat, we can say the value of x is what? X is equal to 180 minus 115. What is the reason? It is a straight line. Okay, this is a straight line. So these two angles are what? adjacent angles, right? So when we subtract this, what do we get? X is 65 degrees. X is 65 degrees. Right, so that is the value of X. Value of X. Right, so now we have to calculate the value of Y. So for this quadrilateral, we will use Y plus 85 plus 65 plus 120, that is equal to 360. Right, so when we add these values together, 80 plus 60, that is 140. To that we add 120, so we will get what? 260. And also we need to add another 10. 5 plus 5, that is 10, no? So altogether we get what? 270. So Y plus 270, that is equal to 360. So the value of Y is equal to what? 360 minus 270. So the value of Y is what? 90 degrees. Right. So in this question, X is 65 degrees, Y is 90 degrees. So X, that is equal to what? 90 degrees. Why? Vertically opposite angles. This is 90 degrees, no? Then, if this angle is 130 degrees, this angle is also 130 degrees. Why? Vertically opposite angles. Right? Now we think about the quadrilateral. 130 degrees, that is this angle. This is what? 90 degrees. So we have to calculate Y. Right? So we can write Y plus 130 plus 90, that is equal to 360. Right? Y plus Y means what? 2Y plus 130 plus 90 means what? 220. So that is equal to 360. So 2Y, that is equal to what? 360 minus 220. Right? So when we subtract this, we get what? 2Y, that is equal to 140. Right? So that means what? Y, that is equal to 70 degrees. So in this question, X is 90 degrees, Y, that is 70 degrees. Exercise 12.2, question number 2 under that part 4. So here also we have to calculate the magnitudes of X and Y. Okay. So for this exercise, I will name this triangle as ABC. ABC. Okay, so if we think about the triangle ABC, we can come up with the value for X. We know the sum of internal angles of a triangle, that is what? 180. So, we can write ABC triangle, right? ABC triangle. So, 50 plus X plus 30, that is equal to 180 degrees, right? That means X plus 80, that is equal to 180. That means X is equal to what? 180 minus 80, so 100. So X is equal to 100. So the value of X, that is 100, right? Okay. Now, so here the value of X is 100. So we will write it here, 100. Then I will rename A, B, C. This is D, E and F. Right. So if we talk about the quadrilateral ACDE, ACDE, we know the value of the angle A. We calculated the value of angle X. We have to find the value of angle Y, right? Then this angle we don't know, right? But if we know the value of this angle means the value of AED, this angle, it will be easier for us to calculate the angle Y. So now, so if we think about the triangle AEF, 50 plus 30, what is the value of here? we will rename it as Z. Z that is equal to what? 180. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So Z is equal to what? 50 plus 30, that is 80. 80 plus Z, that is equal to 180. So Z is also equal to what? 180 minus 80. So we will get 100. So Z, that is 100 degrees. Z is also 100 degrees, right? So this is not an angle that we need to calculate the value, but we need it. අපේ ප්‍රශ්නෙන් අහන්නේ මෙයාව හොයන්න කියලා. හැබැයි අපිට හොයන්න ඕන වෙනවා එයාව. Right. Now what do? We consider the quadrilateral AEDC. Right. AEDC. Right. So there the value of Z, that is 100 plus 50 plus what is the value of X? That is 100 plus Y, that is equal to 360. Right? So 250 plus Y, that is equal to 360. Y is equal to what? 360 minus 250. So the value of Y, 0 minus 0, that is 0. 6 minus 5, that is 1. 3 minus 2, that is also 1. So Y is 110. So the value of X, that is 100 degrees. Value of Y, that is 110 degrees. So those are the values. So this is the fifth part. So right off the bat we can say X is equal to 70 degrees. Why? These two are vertically opposite angles. So if this is 70 degrees, this is also 70 degrees. Then we have a quadrilateral. Out of the four internal angles, we know the values of three angles. So we can easily calculate Y. So Y plus 70 plus 70 plus 80, that is equal to what? 360. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a quadrilateral. So Y plus 70 plus 70, that is 140. If we add 80 to that, this becomes what? 220. So that is equal to 360. So Y is equal to what? 360 minus 220. Right? So Y is what? 0 minus 0, we get a 0. 6 minus 2, we get a 4. 6 minus 2, we get a 4. 3 minus 2, we get a 1. Right? Degrees. So in this question, X, that is 70 degrees. Y, that is 140 degrees. So those are the values. Question number 3. Find the magnitude of each of the following angles based on the information marked in the figure. Right, so under that we have the first one, which is angle DCF. So we will consider DCEF quadrilateral, right? So there the sum of internal angles of that quadrilateral, right? So this is 90, this is 90. This entire angle is 2x. X plus x, it will be equal to 2x. And this angle alone is what? 120 degrees. So we can write 90 plus 90 plus 2x plus 120, that is equal to 360 degrees. So you have to write down the reason within brackets, right? Sum of internal angles of a quadrilateral is equal to what? 360 degrees. So 90 plus 90, that is 180. 180 plus 120, that is 300. So 2x plus 300, that is equal to 360. So 2x is equal to what? 360 minus 300 degrees. So 2x will be equal to 60 degrees. So we will have to divide this side by 2. Do the same thing to the other side. So x will be equal to what? 30 degrees. X is equal to 30 degrees. DCF means what? DCF is equal to 2x. That means 2 into 30, which will be what? 60 degrees. So this will be the answer. Okay, so the next angle that we need to find is what? Angle ABC. So we will consider the sum of internal angles of the ABC triangle. So we can write 100 degrees plus angle B plus what is this? X or ACB. So in the previous part of the question, we calculated the value as what? Regarding x, 30 degrees. So we can write 30 degrees. So this is equal to 180 degrees. So you need to write the reason within brackets. Sum of internal angles of a triangle is equal to what? 180 degrees. So 100 plus 30, so that will be 130 degrees plus B angle, that is equal to what? 180 degrees. So angle B will equal to what? 180 minus 130. So angle B will be equal to what? 50 degrees. That means ABC angle is equal to what? 50 degrees. Third part, angle AED. Okay, so for that we will consider AEDB quadrilateral. So we will consider the sum of internal angles of the quadrilateral AEDB. So this angle is what? 100 plus this angle 50 degrees plus this is 90 degrees, it is given to us, right? 90 degrees plus we can write AED. Now here we can't write angle E, right? Because we have AED, AEC, right? And also CEF, right? So we have to be careful when we write the name of the angle. So this will be what? AED. So we can't write simply as angle E. So AED, this is equal to what? 360. So just as before, you have to write down the reason. Sum of internal angles of a quadrilateral is equal to what? 360 degrees. So 100 plus 50, that is 150. 150 plus 90, that is 240. So 240 degrees plus AED, that is equal to what? 360 degrees. So AED, that is equal to what? 360 degrees minus 240 degrees. So we get angle AED, that is equal to what? 120 degrees. Right. So going through the answers again, the magnitude of DCF angle is 60 degrees. Magnitude of ABC angle is 50 degrees. Magnitude of AED angle is 120 degrees. Right. Exercise 12.3. Question number 1. Okay. So here, simply what do we have to do? We have been given this diagram, and on this diagram there are several angles. So we have to pick out which ones are the exterior angles. Okay, so actually that is part 1. So we will start from A. A, so that is not an exterior angle. B, B is an exterior angle. Now we come to C. C is also another exterior angle. E, so before we go to E, D. D is not an exterior angle. E, that is also another exterior angle. Y. Y is not an exterior angle, but X, that is an exterior angle. So these are the exterior angles from this diagram. Right. Explain why the other angles are not exterior angles. Right. So if we think about simple A, right, this is the angle. If this is simple A, then we know this is also simple A. Why? Vertically opposite angles. So simple A, since it is a vertically opposite angle, it is not what? It is not an exterior angle. So this is what? Vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite angle. So that will be the reason. Okay, then D, same reason, right? D is also a vertical opposite angle, no? If we think about this angle, what is the magnitude? That is also D. Why? Vertically opposite angle. Okay, then Y. So here the same reason, nah? So if we talk about Y, what is the reason? Y is a straight angle. Right. Question number 2. Find the value of each of the angles denoted by an English letter in each figure given below. Right. Simple A. So simple A, that is an external angle. So we know in a triangle, sum of external angles are what? 360 degrees. So simply we can write A plus 135 plus 165, that is equal to 360 degrees. Okay. So what is the reason? Sum of external angles of a triangle. So definitely you have to write the reason. Nah? Okay. So A plus, so what is the value here? 100 plus 100, that is 200. 200 plus 90, 290 and 300. So 300, that is equal to 360. So A is equal to what? 360 minus 300. So A is equal to 60 degrees. Don't forget the unit. Huh? Right. Question number 2, part 2 under exercise 12.3. So here also we have what? A triangle. So all of these are what? External angles. So this is simple A. This is also simple A. Even if we don't know the value, since both of them have the same symbol, that means what? Both of them are equal in magnitude. So we can write A plus 140, that is equal to what? 360. So A plus A, what is that? 2A plus 140, that is equal to 360. So 2A, that is equal to what? 360 minus 140. So 2A, that is equal to what? 220. So I will divide this side by 2, do the same thing to the other side, right? So 110. So A is equal to what? 110 degrees. 110 degrees. And here, just as before, you have to write down the reason. Sum of external angles of a triangle is equal to 360 degrees. Right. Third part. So here also we have to apply the same theory, right? So all of these angles are external angles. So x plus 145. What is the magnitude of this angle? 90 degrees. So that is equal to 360. So definitely you have to write the reason. Sum of external angles of a triangle, that is equal to 360 degrees. So here we have x plus 235, that is equal to 360. So x is equal to what? 360 minus 230. So here what will be the value? 0 minus 5, we can't do. 10 minus 5, we know that is 5. Here the remaining digit is 5. 5 minus 3, we get a 2. 3 minus 2, we get a 1. So x, that is equal to what? 125 degrees. Exercise 12.3, question number 2, part 4. So here also we have a diagram where all the external angles of the given triangle has been marked. So we can write x plus x, that is equal to 360 degrees. What is the reason? Sum of external angles of a triangle, that is equal to 360. So these are like terms. So I can simplify them as 3x. 3x is equal to 360. So I have to find the value of x. So 3x I have to divide by 3. Do the same thing to the other side. Okay. So I will be getting what? 120. So the magnitude is 120. Part 5. Okay. In this angle, we have to calculate the external angle, magnitude of the external angle, right? So I'll mark this angle as simple A. So what is the value of simple A? Simple A is equal to what? 180 minus 43, right? So what is that? What is the reason? We can name this side as, or we can name the triangle as capital ABC. So here we have to write the reason. What is the reason? AB, it is a straight line, right? We know that if we think about these two angles, right? These two angles are what? If this is a straight line, these two angles are adjacent angles. So we know if we consider one side of a straight line and if we calculate the sum of adjacent angles, magnitude of the sum of adjacent angles, it will be what? 180. So from that we can calculate the value of A. Right? So here what is the reason? If you put simply AB is a straight line, the idea is there. Right? So 180 minus 43. 180 minus 40 we get 140. 140 minus 3 we get 137. Right. So that is the value of A. So here A is what? 137. So here A is what? 137. Okay. Now A plus X plus 148. What is that? What is the sum equal to? 360. Right? So I can write 137 plus, if we go from here clockwise, what is that? 137 plus 148 plus X, that is equal to 360. What is the reason? Sum of external angles of a triangle. Okay, so 137 plus 148. So 100 plus 100, we get what? 200. 200 plus 70, we get what? 270. To that we have to add another 15. So this becomes what? 285. So X plus 285, this is equal to 360. So X is equal to what? 360 minus 285. Right. So here, what is the value? 10 minus 5, we know that's a 5. So here the remaining digit will be 5. 15 minus 8, what is that? 7. Here the remaining digit is 2. 2 minus 2, we get a 0. Right? So in this question, the angle X is equal to 75 degrees. Question number 3. Right? So we have been given a diagram. So under that we have several questions. According to the information marked on the figure, part 1, find BRC. BRC. Okay. BRC. BRC. That means this angle. Right? So, if we consider the triangle BRC, right? If we consider the triangle BRC, right? We can write what? 30 plus angle BRC plus 40, that is equal to what? 180. So definitely you have to write down the reason. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. Right? So BRC plus 70, that is equal to 180. That means angle BRC, that is equal to 180 minus 70, which is 110 degrees. So just as before, keep in your mind to write down the unit. Okay, so here we will write R as 110. Then part 2, what do we have? APC. So here I have forgotten to mark P. So P is here. Right, APC. Okay, so we have to calculate the angle APC. So if we think about the triangle APC, APC triangle, right? So this triangle, so we can write 30 plus 20 plus APC, that is equal to 180 degrees. Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So you have to write down the reason. So APC plus 50, that is equal to 180. APC, that is equal to 180 minus 50, which is what? 130. APC, it is 130. So we will write 130 here. Right, third part, we have to find the angle BQA. 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 Right, so if we consider the triangle PQR, right? PQR triangle and the external angles of them. Right? So we will mark. So this will be AQB or BQA. Right. So think about the PQR triangle and the external angles of it. Right? So we can write 130 plus 110 plus AQB or BQA. Both are the same. BQA, that is equal to 360 degrees. So you have to write the reason. Right? So we can simplify these two, which will be 240 plus BQA is equal to 360. So BQA, that is equal to what? 360 minus 240, which will be what? 120 degrees. So the angle BQA, that is 120 degrees in magnitude. Right. Exercise 12.4, under that question number 1. So there we have what? Find the value of simple A marked in each figure. So this is a quadrilateral. So all of these angles are what? External angles. So in a quadrilateral, if we take the sum of external angles, it is equal to what? 360. So we can write simple A plus 83 plus 92 plus 75, that is equal to what? 360. So always you have to mention the what? Reason. So within brackets you have to write sum of external angles of a right. So all of these are what? These are like terms. So simple A plus, we have to add these together. So 80 plus 90, what is that? 170. 170 plus 70, that is 240. So 3 plus 2, that is 5. 5 plus 5, that is 10. So 240 plus 10, that is 250. So this is equal to 360. So A is equal to what? 360 minus 250. So what is the value of A? The value will be 116 degrees. Always remember, you have to mention the unit. Right. So now we will move to the second part. Right. So in the second part also we have a diagram where we have all the angles that is mentioned are what? These three are not all the angles. These three are what? External angles. So we can find the value of this external angle. Right. Okay. So first of all, we can calculate this external angle. Right. So we know this is a straight line. So if we consider one side, right? If we consider one side of a straight line, all the adjacent angles are what? The sum is equal to 180. So definitely this angle, that means from here to here, what is the magnitude? 150. Right? Right. So we know the magnitude of this angle, which is 150. Also, this angle is what? An external angle. So now we can use what? The theorem, the sum of external angles of a quadrilateral is equal to what? 360. So we can write what? Simple A plus, simple A plus, simple A plus 150, that is equal to 360. So we can simplify these as what? 3A plus 150, that is equal to 360. So 3A, that is equal to what? 360 minus 150. So 3A, that is equal to what? 0 minus 0, that's a 0. 6 minus 5, that's a 1. 3 minus 1, that's a 2. So here we have to find the value of A. So we will divide this side by 3 and this side also by 3. So I can cancel off these two 3's. 3 times 1, 3 times 70. So the value of A angle is what? 70 degrees. Right. So now we come to the third part of question number 1 in exercise 12.4. So here also we have to calculate the value of simple A. So we have a quadrilateral just as before. So all of these angles are what? External angles. So we can write what? Simple A plus simple A plus 2A plus A, 2A plus A plus 2A, that is equal to 360 degrees, right? So always remember, you have to mention what? You have to mention the reason. Sum of external angles of a triangle, that is equal to what? 360. So all of these are like terms. So I can rewrite this or simplify this as what? 6a. 6a that is equal to 360. So I can divide this side by 6, do the same thing to the other side. So a is equal to what? 360 divided by 60, 60 degrees. So the value of a is 60 degrees. And another thing, so in this question, right, it is mentioned we only have to find the value of simple a, right? So in part 3 of this question, we have a and 2a. So since in the question, it is not asking us to find the value of all the angles, it is enough when we only find the value of simple a. අපිට simple a වල value එක විතරනේ හොයන්න කියන්නේ ගානේ මුලින්ම. හරිද? දැන් මේ ගානේ මෙහෙම දීලා තිබ්බනම් එහෙම වැඩේ වෙනස් වෙනවා. හරිද? දැන් මේ ගානේ මෙහෙම දීලා find the magnitudes of all angles. එතකොට all angles කියලා කිව්වහම මෙතන a ඉන්නවා මෙතන 2a ඉන්නවා. එතකොට a ගේ 2a ගේ දෙන්නගෙම හොයන්න ඕන. හරි? හැබැයි අපිට මේ ගානේ simple a වල value එක විතරයි හොයන්න කියන්නේ. ඒක හන්ද අපි මෙතනින් නැවතුපුවම ඇති. Right. Question number 2. Find the value of each of the angles based on the given figure. Right. So we have 3 parts there. First part is what? What is the value of angle x? So here we have angle x. This angle is 110. So we know when we add these two values together, what do we get? 180. So part 1, x plus 110, that is equal to what? 180. What is the reason? Sum of adjacent angles of a straight line considering one side. Right? Ekali unknown. So x is equal to what? 180 minus 110. So value of x, that is what? 70 degrees. So part 1, we get what? 70 degrees. So here part 1, this is value of x. Value of x, it is 70 degrees. Second part, what is the value of simple a? Right. So here we have simple a. So we can see that simple a is an external angle. So we have 4 external angles along with simple x. Right? Right. So therefore we can write what? A plus 140 plus x plus 85, that is equal to 360 degrees. What is the reason? Sum of external angles of a quadrilateral. So we know the value of x, which is what? 70. So we can rewrite this as what? A plus 140 plus value of x, that is 70, plus 85, that is equal to 360. Right. So 140 plus 70, what is that? 210. 210 plus 85, what is that? 295. So a plus 295, that is equal to 360. So a is equal to what? 360 minus 295. So we get what? A equals 0 minus 5 we can't do. 10 minus 5, we know that's a 5. Here the remaining digit is 5. 5 minus 9 we can't do. 15 minus 9, we know that's a 6. So here the remaining digit is 2. 2 minus 2, that's a 0. So value of simple a is what? 65 degrees. So value of simple a, that is 65 degrees. Part 3, they are asking value of simple b. Right? What is that? A plus b, we know that is 180 degrees. Why? This is a straight line. These two angles are adjacent angles, right? We know when we consider the sum of adjacent angles on one side of a straight line, what is that? 180. Sum is 180, right? Okay, so simple a, that is 65 degrees now, right? So a is 65 degrees plus b, that is equal to 180. B, that is what? 180 minus 65, right? 180 minus 60, what is that? 120. 120 minus 5, that is 115. So simple b, that is 115. Right. Right. Question number 3. Find the magnitudes of the angles marked in the figure as simple a, simple b, and simple c. Okay. So at a glance, we can easily calculate what? Both of these angles. Right? Why? If we consider these two angles, if we add these together, it will equal up to what? 180. It will equal to 180. Why? This is a straight line. We are considering adjacent angles on one side of it. සරල රේඛාවක්. එක පැත්තක තියෙන adjacent angles ටික, right? So we can write A plus 110, that is equal to what? 180. So A is equal to what? 180 minus 110. So A, that is what? 70 degrees. Hari. So then simple B. In the same manner we can calculate simple B. So B plus 85, what is that? 180. So B is equal to what? 180 minus 85. So 180 minus 80, that is 100. 100 minus 5, that is 95 degrees. So simple B, that is equal to 95 degrees. Here also you have to write down the reason. So simple B, that is 95 degrees. 95 degrees. Okay. So if we think about these four angles, 110, 70, simple C and simple B, all of those angles are what? External angles. So we know sum of external angles of a quadrilateral, that is what? 360. So we can write from here C plus 70 plus 110 plus B. What is B? 95. That is equal to what? 360. What is the reason? Sum of external angles of a quadrilateral. You have to write it. Reason එක අනිවාර්යෙන් ලියන්න ඕන. Right. So now I can simplify these three numbers. So C plus 70 plus 110, that is 180. 180 plus 90, that is 270. 270 plus 5, that is 275. So that is equal to 360. So C is equal to what? 360 minus 275. 0 minus 5 we can't do. 10 minus 5 we know that's a 5. Here the remaining digit is 5. 5 minus 7 we can't do. 15 minus 7 we know that is 8. Here the remaining digit is 2. 2 minus 2, that's a 0. So C is what? 85. So value of simple C, that is 85 degrees. Right. Right. Here also we can calculate the values of these two or the magnitude of these two angles very easily. Right. So we can write C plus 72, that is equal to 180 degrees. So C is equal to what? 180 minus 72. දැන් මේ සම්බන්ධ අනිවාර්යෙන් තේරෙන්න ඕන. හරි? එතකොට ඒක රීසන් එකත් ඔයාලා ලියන්න ඕන. Right? So here what is the value of C? 108 degrees. Right? C අපිට එනවා 108 degrees කියලා. B, what is that? Same thing, right? B plus 108 degrees, that is equal to what? 180. So B is equal to what? 180 minus 108. So simple B, that is equal to 72 degrees. 72 degrees. Right? So simple B, that is 72 degrees. Right. So still we need to calculate the value of simple A. So if you take a very good look at simple A, C, B and 105, all of those four angles are what? If we consider the type, all of those are external angles. Right? So we can write in this manner A plus C plus B plus 105, that is equal to 360. This is 105. 105, that is equal to 360. What is the reason? Sum of external angles of a quadrilateral. So A, that is the angle. We need to calculate the magnitude, right? B is 72 degrees. C is 108 degrees. Then we have 105. So that is equal to 360. Then A plus 72 plus 108, that is 180. 180 plus 100, that is 280. 280 plus 5, what is that? 285. So that is equal to 360. So what is the value of A? 360 minus 285, right? So 0 minus 5, we can't do. 10 minus 5, we know that's a 5. So here the value remaining digit is what? 5. 5 minus 8, we can't do. 15 minus 8, we know that's a 7. So here the remaining digit is 2. 2 minus 2, that's a 0. So the value of simple A angle, that is what? 75 degrees. Right. Question number 4. Find the values of simple X and Y in each figure. Right. So this is part 1. Huh? So we know that if this angle is 118, we can find the value of this angle. What is that? 180 minus 118, no? So 180 minus 100, we get what? 80. 80 minus 18, we get what? 62 degrees. That means this angle is 62 degrees. Right. In the same manner, this angle, what is that? We can calculate it using what? 180 minus 122, no? So 180 minus 100, we get what? 80. 80 minus 20, we get 60. 60 minus 2, we get 58. That means this angle is 58 degrees. Okay. And if we think about this triangle, we can calculate this angle, the magnitude of this angle. What is that? 62 plus 58, what is that? 60 plus 50, that is 110. 110 plus 10, we get what? 120. Right? So we are considering, what is this? This is a triangle, no? So sum of internal angles of a triangle, what is that? 180. So if we subtract 120 from 180, we get the value of this angle. Right? So 180 minus 120, what is that? 60 degrees. That means this angle is 60 degrees. Then clearly we can say the value of X is what? 120. Right? So X plus 60, what is that equal to? 180. Why? This is a straight line. Right? So we have to write down the reason. So X is equal to what? 180 minus 60. So what is that? 120. So the value of angle X is what? 120. Right. So we will just write down the value of simple X angle, which is 120 degrees. So still we have to calculate simple Y. If this is simple Y, this is also simple Y, no? Why? Vertically opposite angles. We can calculate this angle. Why? Think about the small triangle, right? Internal angle, sum of internal angles is what? 180. We know the magnitude of two angles, right? So when we add these together, what is the value, right? So we will rename this angle as simple PQR, not simple, capital PQR, right? So, and this is Y, no? So that means this is also Y. So we can write what? PQR triangle. So we can write Y plus 60 plus 70, that is equal to what? 180. Why? What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So we can write, so Y plus 60 plus 70, what is that? 130. So that is equal to 180. So value of Y is what? 180 minus 130. So Y is equal to what? 50 degrees. 50 degrees. So here angle Y, the magnitude is what? 50 degrees. Right. So here we have a figure where we have to calculate the values of simple X and simple Y. Okay. So we can easily say, if this is 25 degrees, this is also 25 degrees, no? Why? Vertically opposite angles. Okay? In the same manner, if this is 105, this angle is what? 75 degrees. Right? If we add up these two angles, it should be equal to 180. So if this angle is 105, this angle is definitely 75 degrees. Then we can clearly calculate the magnitude of y. Okay. So for AED triangle, we can write down 25 plus 75 plus simple y, that is equal to 180 degrees. What is the reason? Sum of internal angles of a triangle. So 25 plus 75, that is 100. 100 plus y, that is equal to 180. Y is equal to what? 180 minus 100. So y is what? 80 degrees. So here the value of angle y, that is 80 degrees. So now we have to calculate the value of simple x. Okay. Think about these three angles, 128, 62 and 105. What are those? Those are external angles. If we think about the vertex capital A, this is the external angle, which is x. So we can write x plus 128 plus 62 plus 105, that is equal to 360. Sum of external angles of a quadrilateral. So x plus, right, so here we have 20 plus 60, that is 80. So 180, 180 plus 10, we have 190. 190 plus 100, that is 290. 290 plus 5, that is 295. So x plus 295, that is equal to 360. X is equal to what? 360 minus 295. So 0 minus 5 we can't do. 10 minus 5 we know that's a 5. Here the remaining digit is 5. 5 minus 9 we can't do. Right? 15 minus 9 we know that's a 6. Here the remaining digit is what? 2. 2 minus 2, that's a 0. So the value of x is what? 65 degrees. Right. Right. So this is question number 5 of exercise 12.4. Right. So we have been given a diagram. What is the value of simple A plus simple B plus simple C plus simple D? Right. So simple A, simple B, simple C, simple D. If we think about this quadrilateral, all those angles are what? External angles. So we can write part 1, simple A plus simple B plus simple C plus simple D, that is equal to 360 degrees. Right. Then what is the value of simple B plus simple C plus simple E? Okay. Simple B, simple C and simple E. So if we think about this large triangle, all those angles, all three of those angles are what? External angles. So these are what? External angles. Right? External angles of this large triangle. So what is the sum of them? That is equal to 360 degrees. 360 degrees. According to the answers of part 1 and part 2, show that E is equal to A plus B. Right. So we can number this as 1 and this as 2. Right. So since both of these values are equal, we can rewrite this as what? A plus B plus C plus D, that is equal to what? B plus C plus E. So I can cancel off BC, BC. So A plus D, that is equal to E. Right? So if we flip the sides, the values are also the same. Right.